Hey review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be doing an album review for the new Beyond Creation album entitled Algorythm. And if you are unfamiliar with this band, Beyond Creation is a Canadian metal band that was formed in 2005. This is their third full-length album, and it just came out today on Season of Mist Records. And to be honest, Season of Mist is a label that I wish I kind of looked more into, because they have quite a few bands that I have liked from them, and I'm surprised I've not kind of stayed up to date with them, but after this album, I'm definitely going to start doing that. So this is a 12-track album, but you can kind of chalk it up to being a 10-track album, because the last two tracks are instrumentals of two of the previous tracks from this album. And I just gotta say, I really enjoyed what this album had to offer. It's a technical death metal album with a lot of progressive metal nuances thrown in, as well as some parts that even sounded a bit psychedelic, such as track number 3, Surface's Echo, or like Surface's Echo, something like that. I forget the exact name of it, but it's something along those lines. It's track 3. I really enjoyed that intro to that song, because if you hear that intro, it is definitely going to give you a feel for a lot of the album to come. And this isn't going to blow your mind when it comes to the technical death metal aspect, because that's something that has been done for so long, and a lot of people can consider that a bit mundane, a bit meat and potatoes, and in many ways, this is in fact a meat and potatoes technical death metal album, but it's the little things that are thrown in that makes it a bit above average that I enjoyed, particularly the progressive elements, the sometimes thrash elements, some of the little psychedelic edge, such as on track number 3, the intro to that will give you a nice feel for what the album is really going to have to offer, because there are a lot of sounds that go into this, and throughout this album, while there are some parts that I feel sound a lot like previous ones, as well as feel like typical technical death metal things, I definitely found a lot to be desired and a lot to be kind of enjoyed throughout this album whenever they would throw in a new sound, a new little nuance, a new little influence. The two things that I have to compliment on this album more than anything else are the vocals and the drum work. The percussion on this album sounds phenomenal. There's something about it that gives me almost a melodic death metal approach, kind of just banging drums, almost epic sounding, something you'd hear on like a fantasy film, like a Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Love when drums sound like that, and like I said, it gave me shots of maybe like an Amon Amarth and In Flames and At the Gate, something like that. And I think that the drums, I think the drums are probably my favorite part on the entire album. They were the thing that really made me most interested in listening from track to track, because I think that the drummer on this album does a fantastic job, and the vocals have this strange kind of distorted, much lower kind of whispery almost sounding. It's not like in your face. A lot of times technical death metal will feel the need to go above and beyond making vocals that sound a little bit too just like strainy, a little bit too guttural. This found a nice balance, and I gotta commend the vocalist for finding that balance in between and really making it sound great. The mix is pretty good. It doesn't sound like super clean, like maybe like a Cattle Decapitation, but I have to say I'm fine with that, because I can appreciate death metal that sounds a bit more raw, sounds a bit more unfiltered, and I don't want it to sound too overly produced, too mechanical, and on this album I can say that it doesn't really sound mechanical, nothing really sounds that way, and I can really hear everything in the mix, so there's nothing really I gotta complain on the mixing front. But counting the two instrumentals that end the album, this is an hour's worth of music, and that's maybe the only part where I feel like it can maybe fall a bit under, is the fact that I don't think it's anything on the band, but a lot of times technical death metal can run a little bit too long for no reason, and it maybe could have been shortened a little bit. There's not really a particular track that comes off as being like bad or mundane in my opinion. I just feel like it maybe could have been cut down just a tiny bit. But overall, this album didn't really feel like a drag, and it's definitely one of the best technical death metal albums that I have personally heard this year. Maybe not the best, but it definitely is up there for a lot of flavor, a lot of nuance, and it's definitely not fully meat and potatoes. The vocals are great, the drum work is fantastic, and the guitar solos, they can get a little tedious in terms of how long they can last. Sometimes it can feel like they come about and they're really awesome, but then they can overstay their welcome. So other than that, the guitar work is really good. I really dig this album, and I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10, but I want to know what you guys think. So in the comment section below, if you've listened to this album, go ahead and start up the discussion. I'll read your comment, reply, all that good stuff, and you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will shout your channel out. I'll talk to you guys next time. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.